Sheepbridge Trail in Teton Canyon has been around for a while. They've recently added Northside Trail as well, and crucially added a few bridges to connect them to make a really awesome loop. This is all just a couple miles east of Driggs, Idaho, at the beginning of Teton Canyon. This can be done on a hike with boots when the trail is well trodden like it was today. It can be done on snowshoes or it can be done on cross-country skis. It's 6 miles, 9 bridges, and a variety of different terrain. Definitely something for everyone. This is bridge number 1 of 8, I believe. We'll see. Start on Northside Path, and we're going to take this for about 1.5 miles until it's going to meet up with the main part of the road. We'll see how it goes. As you can see, the path is well trod. I have no trouble walking in just my boots, and the view of the Tetons is magnificent. What a great way to start the hike. The first 1/4 mile of this trail walks along next to this canal, which is running pretty good. It's early season. I don't think it's going to freeze. There's too much water running through it. After about 1/2 mile, we turn away from the canal and head into the woods. And this is where it starts getting really pretty. And here we're approaching bridge number 2, the origin of the canal, I suspect. Further in, the snow is deeper, but you can see the path is still really solid. Bridge number 3, this one, also a new bridge, seems to be over a dry creek today. But this bridge is brand new this year, 2024. About 1.5 miles in, we come off the little trail and we enter the main road. And the main road is always nicely groomed. And this is going to stay on this for about 1 mile. And what you want to do is stay over here on the left, because you don't want to be in the middle where the skate skiers go. You don't want to be on the right or left where the Nordic skiers go. Now, if you want to know where to, our landmark is that 25-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. So if you want to go the other way, it's just about 100 yards beyond that is our turnoff. A lot of dogs on the trail. Hello. Just shy of 2 miles in, we see this fence here, and that demarks the edge of the rendezvous route campsite. And shortly after that will be the Treasure Mountain campsite, and that's where we're going to turn. This is bridge number 4 over Coal Creek, just before the rendezvous route campsite. I like that they have a little bench here for people to rest, about 2 miles in from the cars. So we're approaching what used to be called Treasure Mountain Scout Campsite. And it was a scout campsite for years. But the Boy Scouts decided not to renew their lease and do the required improvements, so they turned it over to the Forest Service, I think, and now it's called Treasure Lakes. Almost exactly 2.5 miles in, we turn off the main road and onto this road closed sign, and there's a trail around the side, and this takes us into the old scout camp. And this is where we're going to go back into the woods again after being on the road for a while. This is bridge number 5, and don't you be fooled. It is definitely flowing under there, if you can see the water. This is the old Scout dining hall, which is rather prominent and large. And you can see there's a whole bunch of bare boxes here for a lot of camping. It must be very popular in the summertime. I love this trail. I mean, it's easy going, don't need snowshoes or anything. And there's just not another soul here. I mean, look how beautiful and peaceful this is. Just walking through the woods. It's just fantastic. We've been walking along next to the Teton River for a while now, but this is our best view of it. And it's really cool because you can see how the ice is beginning to form. And you don't want to get too close because sometimes you're walking on ground and sometimes you're walking on thin ice, and it's just not a risk I want to take. This is bridge number 6 over an unnamed creek, which is actually flowing pretty good. Just one of the new bridges they made this year that wasn't here just a few months ago, I think. Now we're getting to one of the highlights of this trail. It's the confluence of these two creeks. The first one, I don't know the name of this guy. Something probably like Treasure Creek is right below Treasure Mountain. And then the Teton River. Now there is a brand new bridge here. And I say brand new as in it's not done yet. So you got to kind of climb up onto it right now. But it wasn't here last year. And maybe they'll finish it early next year. So you have to kind of scramble a little bit. Now when I was here last week, I was using this little log to get up and it shifted on me. So be cautious. So here's another view of our 7th bridge today. And you can see it's pretty stout. I don't know what they have in mind for it. It seems a little bigger than necessary. But I crossed over this beautiful creek. Now from this new bridge, we have a very short connector trail until we get to the end of Sheep Bridge Trail, which has been around for a long time. And you could just take a left turn right here where they fork off and head straight back to the parking lot. But I highly recommend that you take a little tiny detour to the right and see where these two creeks come together, because it's really beautiful. And it's kind of a spot, you know, it's one of those things you must always go to. So we're just going to walk up this little rise here, and you can see the trail that takes us down to the confluence of these two creeks. There we are. And this is the Treasure Creek we just crossed. And this is the Teton River that we've been next to for a while. And they come together right here and become a much bigger creek. This is just kind of a neat spot to come and have a lunch maybe. That's the end of my sun. The thing about walking in a canyon is the sun sets early and rises late. When you're walking on the trail here, always take the detours that take you by the river. It's definitely worth your while. Oh, the river's looking pretty, isn't it? Look at that fresh snow on top of the rocks and on top of the logs. Teton River. Here we're approaching bridge number 8, and this is another bridge over the Teton River, and I think it's the best bridge. It's kind of cool because there's a little kink in the middle of it, but because we're further downstream than the other ones, the river is bigger here than before. Now sometimes deeper in the winter, there's these huge ice flows that are kind of blocking the river. Not right now, but right now it looks kind of cool with each of the rocks kind of snow capped, like it has a little snow hat on it. And here we are right where we began. This is the fork of the trails. We're just coming out of Sheep Bridge. And remember, we went out on Northside Path. And here is our final bridge, bridge number 1 and bridge number 9 for just one day. Just a hair below 6 miles, just a little bit less than 2 hours of moving time. No snowshoes required, with a nice walk.